Hi there, I'm Mac Barnes, and this is CarPort Forge. This is where I'm attempting to learn the fine ancient art of forging, using forging accessories. I learned at the University of YouTube and the School of Hard Knocks.
Well said.
And today what we're going to attempt to do is we are going to, by the way, this is my first attempt at forge welding. As you can tell, it didn't take. So I'm either going to...
It's supposed to stick together, right?
Yes, they're supposed to stick together, Mike. Okay. We'll probably work on this small piece and make a small knife, and we will cut it down to about like this. We're going to cut it down about like there and put it in about like this.
Yeah, that'll work.
And it'll be about this much because, this is 9 inches.
That's 9 inches.
That's right. You see this? 9 inches.
Highly precision measurements at CarPort Forge.
Yes. All right.
And here's a little forge. It's kind of neat. That gets the job done. Got ourselves a little anvil here.
That's a big ass anvil.
And a spring-loaded doohickey made to hold stuff down there. Hang your hammers up there. Got a sawhorse without the horse.
It's a little tool just to draw, put your holding something.
Yeah.
You do this because this is hot, the metal's hot, and you don't want to
Tappy
hurt
tap
yourself.
tap.
Tap, tap, tap.
All right, well, let's go to work. Flattened out pretty well, didn't it?
This is rubbing off the scale.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, say no. Fire good. Beer's even better, but that's something else, really. They win.
Right, tap it in.
Already bottomed out.
All right. Look at this.
That's fairly straight.
We can always bend it. Shields up, Captain.
Shields up.
All right.
Go for it.
Okay. It ain't going nowhere.
That's a tack weld. By golly.
That's not, but. I just blew the
Did you blow a fuse? Is that the first time that's happened?
Yep.
You know what that means, right? You're really getting into it. It's just you're really doing some good stuff.
It's hot for some reason.
Imagine that.
Shit. Bitch.
Welding makes a lot of heat. All right, taking a little break in the action here. We're not experts here. I'm sure not an expert at this kind of thing. Got a very rustic looking blade here made out of a railroad spike and some 1095 steel. And just welded, ended up welding the blade into the railroad spike. It's actually been twisted by the way. Clearly, that's not finished, and it'll have to be prettied up, polished up, put a bevel on it, sharpen it, tweak it, cut it, all those things, right? It'll look pretty at the end of the day. We tried out the Chicago Electric flux welder. It's not bad for small things, easy to use, didn't really find any issues with it. It's not MIG, but you know what? It'll stick two pieces of metal together. So it's a practical device for somebody that doesn't need to do a whole lot of welding. And there's some things you just need to stay true to in the world, and sometimes you have a few vintage tools around as well. CarPort Forge, Nashville, Tennessee. All right, we're going to start the heat treating process next.
So what we did was we annealed it. That's where you heat it up to non-magnetic. You stick the magnet on it. You just saw that in the other video. And then you bring it to air temperature. So it takes a while for it to cool down, but you know, not forever. It's where you go drink a beer, have a chat, you know, whatever. Now, what I'm doing now is I'm going to heat it up to non-magnetic again, and then we're going to put it in the oil. We're going to quench. And what that does is, you know, it's heated up to non-magnetic, very hot, and then you quench it, and it's going to immediately cool it down. All right, then all those molecules on the inside, they're like, ah! You know, oh my God. So they're kind of like very fragile. If I were to drop it after I quenched it, it would shatter. So then what I'm going to do is we're going to put it in the oven at about 435 for a couple hours. And then after that, you know, it'll cool off to air temp. And then all those molecules in there kind of settle down. Now, you don't need to heat up the whole thing. You really just need to heat up the blade, the part that's going to be sharpened, because that's really what you want to do. And so I'm kind of moving it back and forth. You see when it's red like that, that's hot enough. Where'd I put that magnet? Right here in front of me, of course. All right, so this is where I will, you heat it up to non-magnetic, and then a little bit more, you know, hold it for about a minute. Okay, it's non-magnetic. We'll keep it up like this, okay? All right, get ready to put it in now. You gotta check and make sure it doesn't warp.
It smells like French fries.
It does smell like French fries. French fries are good. Now you wanna make sure it doesn't warp. Put it here in the vise. Just keep it straight, you know, because as it cools, sometimes it'll warp. We don't want that. Warping's not good. All right, so it's cooled off enough so it ain't gonna warp. We put it right here on the plate. And we take it. All right, so it's gonna come in the oven. All right, it's at, I got this. And I'm gonna set my timer for 2 hours. Timer, 2 hours.
That's fancy.
There you go. So it's gonna turn off and then it's gonna just chill. I really need like a 30 flat disc, or 35, whatever it is, or 40.
Got some oak here or hickory? What's this here?
That's persimmon.
Which one is persimmon?
Persimmon, 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 persimmon.
Yeah.
Persimmon, all this is persimmon. So this is how not to make a walking stick. I started to be clever. Got this idea off some lady off of YouTube, and it was a sound design. But the problem is that look, got too much flex in it. Okay, that's because I have too many of these little bitty persimmon, dogwood, cherry.
What do you call those, discs?
Yeah, sure.
It's a good word.
It's a good word, a disc. and of course I forged this little railroad spike deal. Now I realized that if I had like maybe just like, sections of about 9 inches each.
That's 9 inches, I bet.
2, 3. I could get like 4.
Yeah.
Then I don't think it would bend, and I could still use a hickory dowel.
A steel
Is proper.
piece of all thread
All thread. There you go.
might be good, but they're pretty flexible too.
I don't want anything flexible. But then again,
Kryptonite, maybe.
Jack, yeah. This is based off of a shepherd's axe design. And yes, the shepherds over in the Carpathian region of Eastern Europe, they would they'd have the little walking sticks, and they'd have a little small axe head on it. It was not much more than a piece of metal with a little axe thing, and it was just for like against the wolves. They got hungry, won't eat a sheep. They take care of it like that. But it was
Is that guy flying in a circle around your house or what?
That's the DEA,
Oh, well.
NSA. GoPro, stop recording.
You'll be chopping onions before you know it. It's a railroad spike welded to a lawnmower blade.
No, this is 1095
I'm yanking your chain. All right, I think that's about it for one weekend. I think CarPort Forge is going to continue to work on this piece a little while longer and try to clean it up. This is sort of a prototype, really. Twisting up a railroad stake there and then attaching a blade to it. So not too shabby, I think, for CarPort type stuff. And holy cow, what a gruesome looking weapon that is. But
onion cutter.
It's an onion cutter. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. The feds were circling in the airplane earlier. You know that, right? All right, folks. That's all for now. Appreciate you stopping by the channel. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video. Don't forget to click that little bell down below. You guys have a good one, and remember to enjoy making knives.